You can thrive after divorce. In this video, I'm going to share 5 ways I am thriving post-divorce. This video is for you if you are in the messy middle, in the thick of life, wondering and imagining what could it be on the other side of the pain, confusion, and chaos. Hi, my name is Danielle Brooks, and I'm a woman over 50 who has been transformed by trauma. On this channel, I offer refreshing words to help you turn your pain into power. My life turned upside down in 2020. I divorced after 19 years in an emotionally destructive marriage. I closed down a church that I had started with my former husband, sold the home that I raised my children in. Not to mention, there was a little thing called a pandemic going on. This was the most scary and dark time of my life. But it was also quite transformative and led me to uncover roots of deep trauma in the crevices of my soul. I provide information and encouragement on this channel for women searching for freedom through my personal stories and lessons learned on my healing journey. Well, let's get into today's video. 5 ways I am thriving post-divorce. Number 1, I'm stronger than what I ever thought I was. I've tapped in to a level of resilience that I didn't even know I had. And this is a different kind of strength. It's an inner strength, not the push through strength, the carry it all on my back strength, the grin and bear it with resentment seething underneath the surface. It is the strength that is, number 1, accepting the current reality. A way I tapped into my strength was truly facing and accepting the current reality and dealing with it minute by minute, accepting how I was feeling, accepting who was there and who was not, who has remained and who has not. I tapped into strength when I reconnected, with people that I didn't even think would be walking with me through this kind of circumstance. Getting in community with others. In my former life, I was this independent person who did all the things, looked like I was doing all the things that were impossible, and they were not possible. They were literally killing me. So there was a strength in me asking for help when I needed it and getting in community with like-minded people. And particularly at the early stages post-divorce, where I was literally just trying to survive. I needed to tap into help. And that was a foreign concept for me, but it's part of the strength that I recognize today. There is strength in knowing when you need help and asking for it. Number 2, the second way I am thriving post-divorce. I became a better friend, a better mom, a better auntie, better in all of my relationships. Most importantly, I'll say with my children, I was no longer exhausted. I was no longer in fight or flight mode. I was no longer buried under the weight of all of the destruction that was happening during the time of my marriage. And that was huge for me, for my children. I have 2 daughters. So for them to be able to have a model of a woman making a choice to thrive, I became a better model for them, a better mom for them. I took off that super mom cape. I also became vulnerable. And with my children, again, as age appropriate level of vulnerability, but also with those friends I talked about in number 1, in my community, I wasn't concerned about an image or what people might think. I let down my guard in safe places and experienced a level of vulnerability that made me a better friend and makes me a better friend and a better person in every relationship and every aspect of my life now. I also learned how to set clear boundaries. I didn't have those before. That was part of the problem. In the name of people pleasing and the ways I have been taught and trained as a Black woman, a Black girl, to just sacrifice and give, and it was rewarded for that. But now I have clear boundaries. All my yeses are things I truly want to do, things that I have the appropriate bandwidth to do, and I'm able to fully show up and be present in those events and opportunities. So that just makes me a better person in that setting. And I no longer have any guilt about when I need to retreat, when I need to go into a solo space to recuperate. I'm an introvert by nature. And, as much as I love socializing, and I always say I could talk one-on-one to somebody for hours, but large events sometimes can drain every bit of energy out of me. I used to feel bad about leaving early or, just for my level of energy diminishing in some of those settings. And now I don't. I when I need to retreat, I retreat, and it's okay. Everything is fine. Number 3, the third way I am thriving post-divorce. In general, I am just happy. I'm happy all the time. I have a greater appreciation for life. When I was in the depths of a marriage where I experienced so much pain, there was a roller coaster. We were always working through some issue, some situation, whether it was infidelity or some painful circumstance. And then the pendulum would swing and we would move into the big vacation or this great and wonderful thing, or like, oh, we made it through that thing and now we're happy for a season. I was on a roller coaster and I felt like I did not have stable ground underneath me. And in that relationship, I never was truly able to breathe. I never could fully enjoy the good times because I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And now I'm just happy all the time. I am happy every day that I wake up. I laugh daily. I am not concerned or worried about anything. And that is just a way to live, a way I believe that God has created us to have a life of abundance, or whatever your belief system is. I don't believe we were created to be harmed and to be, in situations that have us scared, fearful, worried. I believe we were created to have abundance, relaxation, joy, to work for what we need appropriately. I may use that word a lot, but I think there's something about setting things in their proper place and having a balance in life. And I am happy, and I'm unashamedly happy and believe that it's the life we were meant to live. And you can have that on the other side of divorce. There is more to the story, more to who we are as women. I'm not anti-relationship or, a divorce recruiter, but I will say it can feel like a death sentence. It can feel like when your identity is only that you are holding on to those crumbs of life, whatever those little windows of happiness are, and believing that the other parts of your life that you are sacrificing or laying down or minimizing are worth it, because that is your identity and that is what you are, created to be. And I just say no. That could be one part of your life, in a healthy relationship with a healthy person where you are able to be healthy and fully who you are, there should be happiness there as well. Number 4, way I am thriving. I have reconnected with my true self. I just think based on some of my childhood experiences, I really didn't have a sense of who I was. I was going along in life on a pathway that I thought was the way to be successful, and that was climbing up out of my circumstances of my family of origin. I went to college, I joined the military, got an ROTC scholarship. I did the things. I got married, I had the 2 children, literally the corner lot in the suburbs, and I lost myself along the way. I don't even really think I knew myself. I didn't even allow myself to explore and fully become who and what I was because of fighting for survival out of my family of origin circumstances. Everything was about achieving and survival. And then I got married, and it was keeping the marriage together and raising the children and going to work and doing the things. I lost myself. And so I reconnected with myself over these last almost 5 years, coming up on 5 years. Yay. Happily divorced, as I tell people when they say, oh, like they're so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry you're divorced. I'm like, no, I am very happy. It is a day that I celebrate every year. I am grateful that I survived. But I reconnected with myself through journaling. I love writing, and so I did a lot of journaling. I found different prompts about, just asking myself questions to get to know me, to reconnect with parts of me that I had let fall by the wayside. So questioning, remembering, what did I like as a child? What things am I drawn to that I didn't give myself time to explore? What are my favorite books, favorite movies, favorite foods? I actually, a few years ago, when I discovered Stephanie Perry, who has helped me get my YouTube channel going, she did, I think, a vision board session a few years ago, and I'm going to forget everything. I'm going to try to find that video and link it, but one of the questions she asked us in that session was, think about a time in your adult life where you were truly happy. And I still have that notebook where I wrote out, it was a time where I was single, I was in great shape, I was running, I was writing, getting my creative outlets. So I just wrote all the things. And then I just began to think about how I want to create my life moving forward. That again, divorce is not the end. It's not, like now I'm just going to fade into the sunset quietly. No, there is no going quietly over here. No going quietly for you either. Live out loud, live joyfully out loud, reconnect with yourself. And so after I did some of that digging and journaling, I just began to immerse myself into those things and, ate foods that maybe I shouldn't be eating over 50. I don't care. I'm going to enjoy things. I am, thankfully I am healthy. So I'm not trying to ruin my health, but I'm just not taking any day for granted. And so I am doing the things that I enjoy, that are furthering who I am, pushing me to just become bigger and have a more expansive expression of myself in the world while I'm still on this side of heaven, okay? And the final thing I'll mention on how I reconnected with my true self, because I like to give the what, but also the how. Like sometimes it's like, oh, that's great for you, but like, how did you do that? Another how is I participated in this positive intelligence practice. And I'm going to read my notes here. I did it with a group of friends, and it's the work of Shirzad Chamine. I'm probably mispronouncing that man's name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to that man. I'm sorry. I'm getting off track. But yes, you can find it. It's positive intelligence. Shirzad is spelled Sirzod. And again, I'll link to his website in the description of this video. But one of the things that the program did, the first part of it was an assessment to just learn about yourself and how to identify your saboteurs, like the ways that you are conditioned through life experience, the ways you are programmed to respond. And it's like those negative ways, like the voices in your head that generate the negative emotions in how you respond to life circumstances. And then the program took us through a daily practice of habits to change that wiring, to help us develop a positive minded approach, a positive minded response through the daily practice of this positive intelligence program. And there's an app as well. I'm not being compensated in any way. Clearly, I don't even know how to pronounce the man's name, but it is something I highly recommend. It was very helpful to me. I still go back to those materials from time to time. And finally, number 5 way that I am healing, or number 5 way I am thriving, is that I have since healed my childhood trauma. Again, I'll recommend, and I definitely will link to the work of Terry Cole. Her YouTube channel is called The Terry Cole Show, and she is amazing. She is a clinical psychotherapist, I believe, and really has an entire body of work about creating boundaries. And a video I will link to, she talks about what she has coined, I believe. I first heard the term from her, high functioning codependency. And I just highly recommend that if you are a woman who just is able to do all the things, and that means you may be showing up in an overly responsible way in other people's lives to your own detriment. And so I just highly encourage you to take advantage of her work. She has a lot of free content that I believe will be very helpful to someone who may be struggling in this area. If any of this resonates with you, I highly, highly recommend it. It's the Terry Cole Show. And again, back to one of the things I mentioned at the top around my strength is the way I healed my childhood trauma was about accepting people for who they are and their level of emotional health. I think I walked around so wounded, wondering why this, why that, why couldn't somebody love me differently or more, wanting people to be and do what they just were not capable of being or doing, and that is okay. So acceptance for me looked like creating appropriate boundaries, right? And being able to love and relate to them. If these are people I want to remain connected to, I learned how to relate to them in a way that does not harm me. Again, for others, that meant we could no longer be in relationship, but for people that I want to remain in relationship with, again, I had to just accept them for who they are and find ways and have the boundaries there, healthy boundaries that allow me to love them where they are while protecting myself and thriving, being able to thrive, right? And so again, I'll take us back. 5 ways I am thriving post-divorce. Number one, I realize I'm stronger than what I am. Again, not that strength that's a press through strength. This is a strength that says, help, I need help when I need it. Number two, I became a better mom, friend, person as I healed and just, was able to fully be myself in the relationships that are with me after divorce. Number three, I am just happy. I'm happy all the time, unapologetically happy, silly. Will dance in a moment, watch silly movies. That's who I am. Number four, I have reconnected with my true self, my authentic self. And it's wonderful here. I love every minute of being who I am. Number five, I didn't just stop at this, but I went all the way back and just got down and excavated down in the soul and the roots and dug up some things. Made lots of connections around some ways that my childhood was still showing up in the adult version of me. And now I'm just thriving in that area, and so I'm grateful. If you want to join this conversation, I welcome you to put a comment down below. If you are still here, thank you so much for watching. This is like my second, I'll say real video. I have a couple others from a few years ago when I first started my channel, but I will be uploading at least one video a week that is, again, just meant to share life lessons, encourage women who feel stuck, whether that's in relationships, on jobs, in unsupportive communities. However you feel stuck, I believe there are grains of just things you can grab a hold of that I will share that will help unlock and release you into a life of freedom. So let me know in the comments if there's something that's not on my list that you think I should add, or you think is something you definitely know how you're thriving, maybe post a traumatic event in your life. If there is a topic you think I'm qualified to speak about, please let me know as well. As always, I invite you to subscribe so you can know when I post a new video. And again, thank you so much for watching. Take care.